Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Today we'll be looking into the Kriti and Kirtana form as evolved by Tyagaraja. The Kriti as a form, or rather I would say as an art form, evolved into a very sophisticated form, I would say, in the hands of Sri Tyagaraja, Dikshadhar and Shyama Sastri. Before their time, we see that most of these compositions were called as the Kirtana only, in the sense that they were much more simple in their structure. The word Kriti actually is very interestingly something not exclusively in the domain of music, it does not refer to anything. Kriti by itself means that which is composed. But when we talk about a Kriti in the context of a Carnatic music composition, we see that it does definitely have a certain form and content. Now, if you look at the Kriti and Kirtana, the two terminologies actually, as two different terminologies rather, I would say, came about probably during the time of Professor Sambamurthy when he wrote the theory books. Before that, we also see that the term Kriti actually was not much in vogue, in the sense that in the Sangeeta Sampradaya Pradarshani of Subbarama Dikshadhar, we see a mention of the word Kirtana only. But Sambamurthy has kind of, given a demarcation between the two with a few differences. But of course, again, it's a very borderline difference. But nevertheless, I'd like to share that with you in the sense that when he says Kirtana, he says that this composition is much more simple in its structure, in terms of the melody, in terms of the rhythm, in terms of the sahitya and overall construction also. And also in the Kirtana, he makes a mention that generally we see that a Kirtana has got a Pallavi and multiple charanams, or a Pallavi and Upallavi and multiple charanams. And all the charanams, they kind of are in the same tune. For example, let's take an example of Tyagaraja's Kirtana itself, like Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Manoharama, Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Manoharama, Yelara Nidaya, Intai Naradaya, Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Manoharama, Chalara Sadaya Samitaladaya, Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Manoharama, Raghavira Gita Tyagarajanuta, Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Manoharama. There are actually many more charanams. I sang a few for you. But nevertheless, you would have observed how the same kind of a melody gets repeated throughout the composition. We'll look into some more composition later in this format also. But the point here is about the simplicity of the tune first. So whether now this particular Kirtanam was in Sahana Ragam, but whether you know it is in Sahana or not, the tune is so simple that immaterial of whether you know music or not, you can actually kind of repeat the melody here. So that is the speciality of a Kirtana. And Kirtana, again, we have to understand that before the time of Tyagaraja, had a different purpose, in the sense that among the Bhakti Marga, the Navavidha Bhakti, we see that the Sankirtanam, or singing the Kirtanas, was one way of showing Bhakti towards Lord. So that way I would say that the Kirtanas were a musical tool, I would say, in terms of attaining the Lord, in terms of their Bhakti Marga towards the Lord. But with the coming in of the Trinity, we see that the same Kirtana took a twist and it became more artistic in its construction, with so many kinds of musical embellishments coming into its fold. Tyagaraja, 1767 to 1847, we could say, is one of the greatest composers of this Kriti and Kirtana form. Now, we are also looking at the concert format. When we look parallelly there, we see how the concert format has also been structured such that we have so many kritis as part of the particular kacheri or concert. So, for example, suppose we have a concert with about 15 items being sung by an artist, probably 10 to 11 or 12 would be only the Kriti and Kirtana format, and beginning with a Varnam, then probably ending up with a Tillana or a Javali or a Bhajan like that. So, the major percentage of a concert would be occupied by the Kriti or the Kirtana. This again is also very important in the sense that the Kriti offers us a variety fair in terms of its construction itself. So there are different formats and varieties in Kriti which kind of lend it so many interesting formats also. Just in contrast to the Varnam, which is more rigid, I would say, in terms of its construction. So if you look at an Adi Tala Tana Varnam, it will have a Pallavi, Anupallavi, Muktaiswaram, followed by a Charana and probably the four Charana Swaras. But in a Kriti, we see that there are so many, many dimensions. And especially, we owe much to Sri Tyagarajar for giving us so many varieties and dimensions in the Kriti form and the Kirtana form. We could also say that Tyagarajar, for that matter, is an architect of the Kriti form. And now we will be looking into the Kriti and the Kirtana as evolved by Sri Tyagarajar and what are the formats that he has created for us. Before that, we also should look into the fact that while in earlier period, the Kritis or the Kirtanas, whatever they were kind of constrained within a particular set of traditional ragas like Shankarabharanam, Kalyani, Kambodi, Yadukula Kambodi, Dhanyasi, Nate, Mohanam, Hindolam, like this many ragas which were already prevalent, Panturali, like this, these were the kind of ragas. But with the coming in of Sri Tyagarajar and Dikshadhar, we see that many new ragas also came into the fore. For example, if we take Sri Tyagarajar, we see ragas like Chandra Jyoti, then we see ragas like Kiranavali, Jayantashri, Bindu Malini, Malaya Marutam, Suddha Simantini, Bhushavali, and many such ragams being created by Sri Tyagarajar to probably even to accommodate his Kriti form, I would say. Now, coming to be the classification of the Kritis of Sri Tyagarajar, I could say that there are some very, very simple Kritis, and some of them are like, with many, many Sangatis, so become more kind of embellished. And then there are also some very, very complex Kritis, like in the Rendikala Kirtanas that is created with so many Sangatis and so many internal nuances of the raga also given to us. In the simple Kritis that we talk about of Tyagarajar, we see that the first thing is, of course, the simplicity of the construction of the composition, the simplicity in which the ragam is portrayed. And also another important thing about Tyagarajar is the devising of a typical Kriti format of a Pallavi, Anupallavi and one Charanam, where the tune of the Anupallavi gets repeated verbatim in the latter part of the Charanam. This is something which we actually kind of owe to Tyagaraja for giving us a profusion of such compositions, especially in the Desadi Talams, where you see that the Pallavi, Anupallavi, Charanam, tune of Anupallavi getting repeated in the latter part of the Charanam. I will take up a very, very common and simple example, a composition that all of you as students must have heard it or probably even learnt it also. Let us look at this composition, Bantu Riti Koluvu, in the Ragam Hamsanada. Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama. Also note here how at least there are a minimum of 2 Sangatis. So the contribution of Sangati, which we'll be talking about later, again we owe a lot to Sri Tyagarajar. Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama Banturiti Kolu Viya Vaya Rama. We'll move to the Anupallavi. You must have learnt it mechanically. Now, kind of, look at it more intently to see the internal construction and the points I made to you earlier. Tunta Vinti Vani Modalina ಮಾದ ತುಂಟ ವೀಟಿ ವಾನಿ ಮೋದಲೈನ ಮಾದ ತುಂಟ ವಿಟಿ ವಾನಿ మోదలైన మహదదులబట్టి నేల గూలజేయు నిజ బంటు రీతి కోలు వేయ వయ్య రామ బంటు రీతి కోలు వేయ వయ్య రామ రోమాంచమనే ఘన కంచుకము రామ భక్తుడనే ముద్ర బిళ్ళయు రోమాంచమనే ఘన కంచుకము రామ భక్తుడనే ముద్ర బిళ్ళయు రామనామమనే వర ఖడ్గ బీవి రామనామమనే వర ఖడ్గ మీవి రాజిల్లు నైగ త్యాగరాజునికే బంటు రీతి కోలు. Now I'll be singing to you the Anupallavi and the latter part of the Charanam parallelly for you to understand the point which I made to you earlier. Like, Tunta Vintivani Modalaina Mada. The latter part of the Charanam. Ramana Babani Varakadgamivi. Again, ತುಂಟ ವಿಟಿವಾನಿ ಮೋದಲೈನ ಮಾದಾರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಮನೆ ವರ ಖಡ್ಗ ಮೀವಿ ತುಂಟ ವಿಟಿವಾನಿ ಮೋದಲೈನ ಮಹದ ದುಲಬಟಿ నేల గూలజేయు నిజ రామనామ మనే వర ఖడ్గ మీవి రాజిల్లు నైగ త్యాగరాజునికే బంటు రీతి కోలు వేయ వయ్య రామ బంటు రీతి కోలు వేయ వయ్య రామ. In this category of simple kritis, I could give you a few more examples like మరుగేలరావో రాఘవ మరుగేలరావో రాఘవ చలమేలరా సాకేత రామ చలమేలరా సాకేత రామ చలమేలరా. Now coming to the medium kind of constructions in kritis in the terms of the complexity, we can take an example of ఎన్నాళ్ళు ఊరగే యుందు వజూత మోయవరు అడిగేవారు. Or another composition, నీకే దయ రాక నేజయూపను లెల్ల నీకే దయ రాక నేజయూపను లెల్ల నెరవేరు నా ఓ రామ. Going into a more complex, the Rendigala Kirtanas, which again the Mumurtigal have been very, very important contributors, I would say, like Rama Katha Sudhara Makatha Sudha, or another composition, ಕಲಿಗೆಯುಂಟೆ ಗದಾಯ ಗಲ್ಗೋ ನೋಗಲಿಗೆಯುಂಟೆ ಗದಾಯ ಗಲ್ಗೋ no. Or another composition in Shankarabharanam. Yenduku bedala Yenduku bedala Yenduku bedala Vale Bodhi Yavu Yendu Kubedala Vale Bodhi Yavu Yendu Bodu Naya Ramaya Yendu Kubedala Vale Budhi Yavu Yendu Podu Naya Ramaya Yendugu Bedala. Interestingly, if you look into the compositions itself, when I talk about this simple kind of kritis that we mentioned here, like Marugelara, Chalamelara, here we also see that these are some of the ragas which were created by Tyagaraja himself. Like, for example, the ragam Chandra Jyoti, if I take Shashivadana Bhakta Janavana Shankara Ne Talagalana, or another composition in the same ragam Chandra Jyoti, Bhagayani Maya Lento Brahma Kaina Koni Yada Tarama Bhagayani. In all these ragams, that is the ragams created by Tyagaraja or some rare ragas, we see that these small compositions kind of capsule the essence of the ragam in just a few phrases. So where again coming back to Shashivadana Bhakta Janavana Chandra Jyoti, the Aronam like Sarigama Padasa Sada Pamagarisa. So, in the first phrase itself, you see how the entire gamut is captured by him, like Shashivadana Dasada Pamara Pamagarisa. So, the entire gamut, like Sarigama Padasa Sada Pamagari is covered here. Like this, the other ragams also. For example, if you take the ragam like Jayanteshri, ಮರುಗೆಲರ ಓ ರಾಘವ ಮರುಗೆಲರ. If we kind of break down this ragam, you would see that most of it sounds actually like Hindolam, like sa ga ma da ni sa sa ni da. There only the twist comes where it takes the root of a different ragam, I would say, like sa ni da ma pa ma ga sa. So that incorporation of the pa is what gives this Jayantashri its own different color. So, to give us the imagery of this particular ragam, he uses that Panchama in the opening phrase itself to show you, okay, don't think that it is Hindolam or some other ragam, but I've created something new. And this is the Lakshana, like Marugi Dama Pa Magasa. So, immediately you know that after that, it may have many phrases common to Hindolam also. But then this phrase, which is the identity of this ragam, is clearly indicated in that first phrase itself. Now, coming back to the grand kritis I was talking to you about, the song I sang to you earlier also, you would see that in this Shankarabharanam in a Rendikalai, how he has kind of, made the movements in that particular ragam like in a very slow way. Probably you could also imagine how raga alapana would develop in its kind of, from the shadja, like ఎందుకు బెదల. This is also again an eye opener for students, I would say, where in a ragam which has been created by Tyagarajar, or a very rare ragam, he covers the entire gamut of the ragam to give us a clear picture of the ragam, so that we don't have any kind of confusion about what it is all about. But in already established ragas, like for example the Shankarabharanam, he does not need to traverse the entire gamut to give us a picture of the ragam. For example, whenever we say Shankarabharanam, we say the heart of the ragam is not there in the Uttarangam, but in the Purvangam itself, like so when you sing an elaborate alapana, you'd probably sing this, establish the Adhara Shadja, and then move on to the higher swara. So this probably the same principle is used, like ఎందుకు బెదల వాలెవో దేయవు. So this is also the greatness of the composer, I would say, where when we talk about a ragam, we say it is a scale or an arohana avarona. Then we say these are the swarams which are taken by the arohana avarona. But that is not the end all of a ragam, in the sense that I would say the life of the ragam, the heart of the ragam, lies in between the swaras and not on the swarasthanas. So, for example, if you take Shankarabharanam, Sari Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa, this is also there in the Western scale. So, as a scale of Shankarabharanam, if you want to look at it in terms of the swarasthanas, it would be like Sari Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa, Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Ri Sa. But how Shankarabharanam comes alive is through the usage of the space between these notes, like Sari Ga Ma Ga Ri Ga Ma Ga Ri Ga Ma Ga Ga Ri Sa Ni Sa Ri Sa Sa Ni Sa Ri Ga Ma Ga. So this principle probably he has used, like ఎందుకు బెదల. Also, you have to note that they, the great composers like Tyagaraja or Dikshadhar, were able to compose in the very same ragam, very simple structured compositions, as well as very elaborate and kind of ornamental compositions. So that is again the genius of the composer, where he can kind of, use the same ingredients. If you talk in terms of cookery, using the same ingredients, giving you a simple dish and giving you a very elaborate dish. So the same thing or the same principle has been adopted by Tyagarajar also. Let us take the ragam Kalyani here as an example. In Kalyani, a very small composition that he has composed. Isha Pahi Ma Jagadisha Pahi Ma Jagadisha Pahi Ma Jagadisha Pahi Ma. And the words are also minimum here. Isha Pahimam, Jagadisha Pahimam. And after that, here also, to make it much more precise, after the Anupallavi, he composes some kind of Madhyama Kala Sahityam also here. So when we talk about Madhyama Kala Sahityam of Dikshadhar, who was a prime contributor in terms of the Madhyama Kala Sahityam, we'll be referring to that. Nevertheless, this particular composition gives us a very, very simple structure of this Kalyani. The same Kalyani, in a more elaborate way that he has handled, is Nidhi Chagala Sukama Ramuni, a very popular composition. Now, that same Kalyani in a more extended and elaborate form with multiple Sangatis adorning it can be seen in Eta Unara, like Eta Unara Nilakadani Ko Eta Unara Nilakadani Ko. I'll explain the further Sangatis when we talk about the subject of Sangatis. But the idea here was to explain to you how, in a step by step and a progressive way, he has taken up the Kalyani and elaborated it to us. So, like this, we see that, for example, another raga and composition which comes to my mind is Chakkani Raja, one of the classical pieces, the classic pieces of Tyagaraja, where you see that the Sangatis kind of, it is like, having a beautiful vigraha and adorning it with so much of different kinds of diamonds and rubies and gold and silver, and so much you are decorating it. Like that, he has decorated that Kalyani through this medium of this Eta Unara, or in Chakkani Raja, you see that Karahara Priya has been used so beautifully to decorate that particular composition. Coming back to the concept of Sangatis and kind of, medium type of a composition, not too complex, not too simple. We will take the example of Charu Kesi, where he has composed the composition Adamodi Galade. There are just 4 Sangatis in that. You can see that how progressively the Sangatis have been developed here. It's a very simple structure, but then he has established like Adamodi Galade Ramaya Mataladamodi 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 Galade. Now let's break down the Sangatis. Ladamodi Galade. First, Ladamodi. Second one. Third one. Ladabodi. Fourth one, Ladabodi. So again, the way of constructing these sangatis in a kriti, especially, kind of in a methodical manner, the credit definitely goes to Sri Tyagaraja.